Hey there, welcome back guys. Today we're going to be building an LED light. You ever wonder what to do with those leftover strips from your FPV Pavo 20? Or maybe you didn't put these on your Pavo 20. Maybe you put the LEDs and put them on another drone. But usually when you cut them and customize them for whatever you're putting them on, what do you do with the excess? Well, today we're going to be building an LED lamp. That works really well, has ambient, as you can see back. It'll put one back there. I already have one over here, and it works really well. So without any further ado, let's get started. So to make this lamp, right, what you're going to need is, let me just shut this one off, so the light, or I'll just put it over there, so the light's not interfering with your entertainment. All right, so what you're going to need is a piece of cardboard. You can make one. Of course, the remnants of the LED strip that'll be going on here. 9-volt battery, preferably rechargeable so that you can reuse it again and again and again, because 9 volts can be expensive. But if you have a rechargeable battery, you are golden. And some wire, just 2 pieces of wire. And of course, these little 9-volt battery contraption, which you can get for $3. And then you'll have never-ending, endless energy for your ambient light, as long as you use rechargeable, right? All right, so what you want to do is have 2 strips of wire. As for how long they'll be, that's according to you, okay? So let me cut another piece, and you know, where it depends on where it's going to go, where it's going to be, and whether or not it's going to be on the floor or high up. Maybe you want it for your room, maybe you want it for your kids, right? Sometimes kids love fairy lights. Can you imagine having a kid having this? I love that ambient, but you know, some kids have might be sensitive to the light. You decide. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your, I'll show you on this screen over here. So we can, whoops, where's my mouse? So that's there, and that's here. Window 1, window 2. I'm just going to see if I can stretch this out a little bit so that you can see what's happening here on this screen. Maybe I'll bring it in a little bit. All right, so this is the wire. See the wire? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to just strip it a little bit, okay, because we're going to have to solder it. As you know, soldering that wire is a little bit tricky, and I'm just going to strip it like that. And I'll leave a link to this wire in the description, because this wire can just be stripped with your fingers, which is really nice. As for how much to strip, that depends on you. You know what it's going to be used for, how long, and of course I'm going to heat shrink the excess wire. Just so that it's a stronger bond and everything just stays solid. So this will be my length. Yeah, it's fair, but we'll be using that so you could see the soldering job. Not really, it's really hard to see wire that way. Like, let's say if I cut it, see there, right about there. There, that's a good length. And then you want to do the same thing to this side here, okay, so that it doesn't have to be the same. Well, I guess it should be the same length, but with this one it's a little bit trickier because these wires are thick and they require wire cutters. But the only downside is that, 1, I can't see too well, and 2, you only get 1 take, so you have to make sure your wire cutters are legitimate wire cutters. I'm using these because my other wire cutters that were said to be legit strip. But with this one I have to be really careful, and then just do it so that it just doesn't break the wire. But it's sharp but sensitive at the same time. Oh, you know what? I could use my X-Acto blade. So I can use this thing. Oops, right there. And I could use this thing just to get an idea. because my X-Acto blade is actually sharper than, and then I can just spin the wire around. See? Without breaking the wires. You don't want to break them. You basically don't want to cut them. And if I twist it, hopefully, if it lets me, you don't always get so lucky. Yeah, I think that did it. Nope. It still hasn't broken the wire. Oh yeah, it did. I think to some extent. Yep. I have to get wire cutters. Nice. And so this one, hopefully, I think. Yep. See that? Make sure. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah. And I didn't break through anything, which is great. I mean, if you do, it's fine if you break one or two, but you just want to make sure you cut just deep enough, right, for the wires. Okay, so now, and we're going to peel it back so that we only expose the positive and the negative. That part here. See that? Wait, hold on. Right there. Positive and negative, but I'm going to use a piece of clay because so I can hold the wires together there. Okay, except I'm going to solder it. You know, whichever way works best for you. So now I have to just take a little strip off, just enough for the joint to be soldered in. Alright, so what we're going to do is scrape it, right? Oops. We're just going to scrape it so we get a lot of the remnants off so that we can expose the copper, right? So that the solder can actually stick to it. So now, after having scraped all that off, just leave it exposed a little bit, and then we'll zoom in a little bit. Right about there. That's fine. Let's see if we can get some solder in there. It's a tad tricky, but somewhat doable. Now, hopefully, that is, hopefully, if all goes according to plan, we should be able to. Nope. Get some solder in there. Nice. Got one block. Got it. Doesn't have to be that big of a glob, but whatever works, you know. We're just jerry-rigging it. So we're going to take the short part of the solder. I mean the short part of the wire. Nice. One. And you do the same thing for the other one. So we have one brown and one fell on the floor. So you can either, you know, you do what works, but it's tricky because you have to scrape off the excess layer to get within a layer of a layer, right? And then of course choose your shortest end, right, that will go into the solder. Whoops, and we lost it. Bummer. Alright, so now I have to try and maybe scrape a little more off so I can get that one in. So that's the tricky part when it just does that. But we got one. No, we just have to get the other one. Got it. Now for the true test. I'll move this so you can see how bright the LED is. Pretty bright. And now, pretty wild, huh? That's with a nice battery in there. Oops, it's hard for me to see. Here, I'll let you guys see you in the camera. That's bright. Wow, this is a good battery. Anyway, so we got the wiring is a little bit tricky because you got to scrape it. If you don't scrape it, you'll burn the plastic, which is fine, but you want to expose the elements that you're going to be soldering. Okay, tap that little blob, please, and then just get them in there with a little bit of solder. Nice. Wow, that one went in there. That one went deep in. Nice. All right, so then we're good. You know, but you have to make sure that you wire it correctly, though. Positive, positive, negative, negative. So now, the battery connector thingy, right? So what you're going to do is we're going to choose heat shrink, actually. I used to call them heat sinking missiles, but heat shrink your wires. So now with this, you want to run the wires through. Make sure the wires are somewhat centered, and then do like that. Whoa. And let the heat, you'll see it shrink. Whoa, the heat is so hot. Tighter on one end than the other unless the wires match. So now we have, see? Shrunk wrap. And then we have here. See that? And we know we have a solid solder connection thanks to that. But now, oh wow. The LEDs are really warm. No wonder why. Okay. That one has a little, the reason why these don't overheat is because I think it has a connector thingy. So what you probably want to do is take a piece of tin foil, right? And instead of sticking it on the cardboard, what you can do is, if it lets you, just take a piece of tin foil, right? Wrap it around there like that. Alright, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to put hot glue on the back of here. Just a little bit. For this one you got to be really careful because you just want to dab, dab, dabby dab, dabby dab. Remember the glue's hot. And then you just press down. See? And it sticks. And it's transparent, so even if you do put a lot, it's okay. Because it's going to shine right through. Look at that. And now make sure you shut your glue gun off because it won't cause a fire, but it will make a mess. Alright, so now when you turn your light on, look at that. See how it reflects off the tin? I should have put the tin around the whole thing so that it would reflect even more. But that's fine, that's good. And now you have ambient light and foil reflects off it. So this is I'll show you the other one that I made. This is the other one. It's good, but apparently it could be better and it could be brighter, which is so cool. I love it. And then he of course has your 9 volts starts to diminish. The battery, the light will start to go a little bit lower, but that's okay. And that's it. This is how you build an LED lamp with the remnants of what you already have left over from your LEDs that were supposed to go onto your drone. As you can see, we already have here, but we took the leftovers and sort of recycled it and created an experience that's just right for you. Anyway, I hope this video helped you and you have a better idea of what to do when building your LED ambient light. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.